Hello, everyone. This is Cypherdeck, and today we are back in Scrap Mechanics. I'm here with AC Gamer
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode.
and also Silo over here. He's making some monster trucks.
Yay.
So today I'm going to show you guys how to make. Oh my goodness, did I make that too small? Or it's not wide. It's too wide. Anyway, I'm making a forklift, showing you guys how to make it, and we'll see if we can get it all done for you
Now you went
in this episode.
you went 11 in the front, right?
Yeah, it needs to be 12 in the front, so everything needs to move over one
Oh, okay, so
on one side.
you need to expand that a little bit more then.
Yeah, so on this side, we'll just go everything one.
That's 6 right
And then
there.
that means these wheels need to go over one as well.
Okay. And you just connected that straight to the middle. There's no extra little blocks in there or anything like that.
Well, there is the bearing that I put in
Right,
there.
right, right. But I'm just saying, like, there's no extra mechanisms in there. It's just straight to the.
Yeah, all the steering is going to happen in the back end. It makes it so that you can control the forks a whole lot better.
Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4 squares in there, and you put it on the second one on the front. Okay, for the bearing, just so
Yep.
people can see exactly where the tires go. So you're leaving a little gap here in the back behind the wheel. Is there any reason for doing that?
No, actually, we can close them in because it's not going to interfere with wheels at all.
You sure?
Uh huh.
All right. Let's do that. It's going to add a little bit more weight to it. And for those of you who haven't seen this build before, the weight is pretty necessary because you're going to be picking up some heavy objects. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares going down on this side before you cut in on one. And then you go another 3 squares down and cut in another one. And then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 squares. Okay, so 11 squares going back on the last cut in. And of course, if you add the 3 in there, that's 14 plus whatever I said this was. I think it was 6. At the very end, though, you put some of these little bars. Is there any reason you're going a little further back with the bars rather than the actual material?
Because the weight is actually going to extend past them, and we want to make sure that they're supporting that weight.
Okay. So you have this little thing cut off right there. You put a whatever you call those, dang it, what is the name of these things? The bearings in there before you did the turn. Then you did a turn to the right, put another bearing and the wheel. Now, what's that
Yep.
second bearing in there going to do?
One is for turning. One is for well, you have to have a wheel for the. You have to have a bearing so the wheel can turn, and then also the steering wheel is going to turn those back wheels. Those are
Oh,
the
okay.
only turning portions of the vehicle.
Okay, so this is not front wheel drive. It's rear wheel drive on that one.
Well, it's going to be all-wheel drive as far as that goes, but as far as steering goes, it's going to be rear wheel.
Right. I'm just saying though, could you make the front ones turn with it, or is that just not very, you know, very
Um,
good for the whole design of it?
I wouldn't because you want to make sure that the front is always stationary for the forks, and it just seems like it works better that way.
Oh, okay, so that's why you did it that way. So
Yeah,
you could always try it if you guys want, but take into account that he's kind of messed around with this for quite some time, and chances are, in the end, you're probably going to decide just to disconnect those if you have them hooked up. So, okay, so now that you got the base done, you're going to go ahead and put down some engines. Now, these are not the regular engines you start with. What kind of engines are these?
these are electrical engines. They have a lot of torque, which means that they can power through a lot of that weight that you get with the things that you're going to be using this for. So where a a gas engine is going to give you a lot of power, these are going to allow you to have a lot of ground friction.
Right. And so you're putting 4 of them down, but do you absolutely need 4, or can you get by with less? Or the more you have, the stronger the vehicle?
It's just adding more weight to the vehicle. So these are. I'm going to put one. I'm going to put the back wheels one on each motor, and then the front wheels. I'm sorry. The front both right are going to go on the front right motor, and then both left are going to go on the left motor.
Okay, so you're not getting more strength though by adding more motors, is what I'm saying.
No, no.
They haven't integrated that into the game yet, where you can have just like a really strong vehicle by having like 15 or 20 of these things. Hopefully, at some point they will, because that would be kind of a cool concept. It would make sense. Now I'm looking at these two motors on the left, and they're not showing up as actual motors for some reason. Like it doesn't have the little dot on them.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, not at least not on my screen. You see
It
it?
does for me.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Let's see when you connect it if it shows the connecting line. Not yet. Have you
I'm
connected?
surprised. Yep.
I do apologize, guys, for that. Let me... Oh, there we
Let me
go.
go ahead.
Okay, yeah, all I had to do was leave the gun and come back into it. I guess it's because I was in the gun when you put those things down, so it kind of freaked it
Yeah.
out.
So now we go ahead and put all the motors on the controller. This isn't how low I'm going to actually have the seat. This is just to show off the principle
Oh, of
of how
the
this is going
design?
to work.
Okay.
hmm
So you're going to get in there and drive around?
Yeah. We'll see if it lets me at least.
It should. It's pretty low to the ground, to be honest, guys, but
Oh,
is it too
gotta-
low? Is it too low because of the
No.
hills?
no, I have to make sure all the motors are going the correct way.
Oh, okay. So let's see, how do you have that? Yep, that looks right. The wheels are going forward just how you want them. Yep. Wheels going forward. Nope, you have one wheel up here in the front going the wrong way. There you go.
Uh,
Oh, you're doing the same one. Okay.
yeah. And then I think the back wheels should turn correctly.
Yep. That's left. That's right.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Check it out, guys. Now, this, of course, goes a lot smoother over flat land than it does over hilly terrain. If you're going to be going over hilly terrain, you may think about going with the bigger wheels, maybe even throw some of those shocks in there. It will, of course, change the design just slightly, but when you're going with a forklift, you want it to be as close to the ground as possible. So there may be a time where, could you create it where it has shocks, but it actually lowers, kind of like the drop-down cars that people make nowadays, where it raises up and then it lowers down out of a push of a button?
Yeah, absolutely, you could do that. It'd have to be that you're changing where weight distribution is for it to do that. But I don't see why that would be a problem.
I mean, you could do it with a lever, not a lever, but a bearing of some sort. That's one too short, I think, on that side. They're off just by one. This one's a little shorter than the other one.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, if you used a bearing in here and you connected it to a piece of stone or something like that and it went up, and then you hit that bearing again with a switch and it goes down, that might be a way to get it to go a little further as well. But I don't know, that would take a little findangling, and to be honest, you don't really necessarily need it as long as the terrain is the right way. So if you want to go over really hilly terrain, maybe think about modifying it for that purpose. But beyond that, you should be okay with this. Now, you went ahead and redesigned the back. Is there any reason you did that?
Yeah, so you have more turning radius. Let's see, is that gonna? Yep, it's gonna work the way I want it to. What was happening before is it was getting caught, so I wanted to go ahead and give it more room to turn.
For the wheels, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, are you going to put the same wheels on there this time as well, or are you going to go with the bigger ones?
I'm gonna go with the smaller ones still.
Okay. Let's see what that looks like right there, guys. You didn't put a bearing on there.
Nope, I didn't. I forgot.
Let me put a bearing on there for you on that one. Put a wheel on there. There we go. So a little bit more space between them. Kind of actually a little bit... Are they lined up? No, not exactly lined up with the wheels in the front, but pretty close. Yeah, pretty close. They're just a little off. The one on the right's a
Yep.
little bit more off than the one on the left.
Is it?
That one actually lines up almost directly with this wheel. This one over here, oh, it lines up. Yeah, okay. It was just
I was gonna say they should be exactly
yeah.
same. All right, now if I take this off of here, it should,
Should turn a little bit easier for you.
yeah, it should give me a little bit more turn. It's just because this one's longer than the last one.
But you kind of need that. You know, I mean, what we seen with the last one was, with it being so short, it did tip over a little bit easier when it lifted up really heavy weight. So a
Yeah.
little bit longer is going to give you that ability to lift up some really heavy objects.
So now we're gonna go ahead and get into making the forks. And this I'm gonna be doing some changes to my design. Maybe. We'll see how it works. Um, but we want to go ahead and go halfway, half the distance, whatever that would be. I think that's correct.
Well, it's 12 going across, and you take one on either side, so that would be 10.
Yep.
So you do 5 and 5 in the center.
There we go. And then,
Now he did a bearing right there on each one of the pieces in the corners, and then he put a connecting round piece right there, corner piece connecting to that, and then 5 going across. Did you put another bearing down on that?
yep,
Okay, so
yep.
another bearing, another round corner piece, and then you're going to go back all the way to the
Yep.
end. Okay, so another 5 right there. So
Yep.
5 on the inside, 5 on the middle, and maybe another 5. You're doing another layer of that too as well, right? 3 arms?
Yep, we're going to go 4 actually.
Oh,
And
okay.
then we'll deal with wherever we're going to actually have the forks. So, again,
So just kind of
Oh,
repeat
yeah.
the design again and again, guys.
yeah, the actual hard part is setting up the different,
Degrees on it
yeah,
and the timing on it so that it comes out all natural and it doesn't kind of rub against each other and break stuff when it goes down. So that's definitely something you want to mess with. Although it looks pretty good right now when you put it up there on that platform. A little bit difficult to work on it on a hill, though. That might get in the way a little bit for you.
yeah, I'll move it in a second.
Now, one thing to remember when you're putting this stuff down connected to bearings, always make sure that you are missing... Do you need a bearing on the inside one?
What do you mean?
Well, you have a bearing connected to this piece right here on the corner. But this piece right here, the 5, doesn't have a bearing connected to it. Does it need one?
All of them are, I'm looking at it right now, and all of them are correct.
Okay, just making sure. So you just need
Yeah.
one. You just need one bearing connected to the corner piece, not 2.
Right.
Okay.
Hey. Alright, guy.
And it's Silo on wheels messing with his big truck made out of concrete. Okay, so you got
Alright,
that.
and
on
this
there.
is going to be, we're going to do this one last time. And then the ones that come back, we're going to stop early
If I,
so that we can make our forks.
oh, you got bearings. I keep forgetting every time you put bearings down. If I have the gun on, it doesn't show up.
Yep.
Wow, so that comes out pretty far on the front. Now I see why you put the extra wheels going further back. In fact, you may end up having to go a little further back than that, considering you came out
Well-
so much in the front.
We'll actually have steel or metal going all the way past where those wheels are. All right, so before we do this again, we're going to go ahead and take this off of here and move it back to flatland. And this time we're going to go ahead and go here.
Now these are actually going to be the fork pieces that you're putting down right now, right?
Well, they're going to lead to the forks, so I'm going to
Okay.
go there.
Wow, a lot of little rows here, guys. A lot of them. And remember, when you put these things down, they kind of flop down right now. They don't really hold their place. It's because there's no computer control right now to hold them where they need to be. Later on, once you put that down, they will keep their form until you push the little button to tell them to go off. And some of this will be covered up, so you won't even see it. other pieces will be exposed. So you can kind of integrate that into your design. Maybe put some of these corner pieces around different places to give an overall look of, I don't know, like steampunk maybe, you know?
Yeah.
There you go. So one
Right.
short. Yeah,
Yep.
one short on the very front pieces.
And what? Oh, did I do that right?
I think so. That's kind of how it looked on the other one.
Oh, wait a minute. Nope.
What'd you do wrong? Is that you don't want to do one short?
Well, I do, but it's gonna be on the outside. So let me go one more on each of these. Then that, that, and then I'm trying to see what I can replace.
I think Evil Knievel is about to jump us. Almost. All right, and then are you gonna use those those pieces that have the ramp piece to even the outside out?
Um, oh, where is it? Like that?
Yeah. Okay, so
Yep.
that's cool. That definitely gives that like girder like design right there. There you go, man. That was it.
So I think I'm gonna do what you had suggested. I don't know how I'm gonna do it though.
Which is what?
Have it in stages because every time you move any of these, let me go ahead and put one of these down.
Oh, you mean being able to control the height at which it goes up?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, what we were talking about before is when he built this, of course, you know, it was his first design, and he had it where it would go up, I think it was 2 or 3 high, which is nice. That's if somebody was standing on here, they'd be able to work a little bit better if they're using their little lift over here for something else that they're holding in place. You can use this as a platform. Unfortunately, if you only need to go up, you know, like a foot and a half, there was no direct control over that. So if he combines each one of these to a different button, he'll be able to have it where he can hit one button and goes up, you know, 3 feet, hit another button and goes up 6 feet, and so on and so forth with the different buttons, and have a little bit more control over the height at which his platform goes. Now,
yeah.
how would you do that? Are you going to add multiple computer terminals, or
Well, it won't allow me to do it for what I need to do.
well, it might. I mean,
Um,
if you add multiple computer terminals and each one connects to the rotor, or not the rotors, but the bearings in the front, you could have it where each button connected to that terminal will do something different, right?
well, what I'd have to do is let me try something. Well, yeah, I'd have to have a button specifically. I don't know how I do it though. Um, you pretty much would have to have,
Like 5 terminals with 5 buttons.
or you'd have to have a terminal right in front of you that you control the forks with.
No, no, not the terminal, just the buttons. You just have to have, you know, 5, 6, 7 buttons here in front that you can
Well,
control in
no,
the chair.
that's. But see, the way it has to work is that as these are going upward, the forks they have to turn to keep them straight. They can't turn within whatever it is that you're lifting. So the way I have the design on my original is as this lifts up, the forks stay exactly in the same position all the way up. If I had 2 controllers, then I'd have to have a controller that I controlled these forks on to say that this is where you're at, and I need you to be here after so many for whenever it gets to the top.
Right, because you want them to be flat. Now, do you have to have flat ones? Could you use the round ones instead, and then you wouldn't have to control them? It'd be a little bit less stable because they are round, but I think it would still hold in place just fine. And we do have round
Um,
pieces such as Like the
Yeah.
table support, or you can even use something even rounder than that, like the pipe long would work for the different color ones. Red would be good, I think. It'd set itself apart. And
The red is so big though. Have you
oh, it's
ever
the large
placed
one.
down a red one?
No, I was
Yeah.
just looking at that. It says large. Let me see what that looks like. Holy crap, you're right. That is
Yeah.
massive. Okay, so now I see why you go with the blue ones. I thought it was just different in color, but no, they're actually different in size on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, so the table one maybe. Let me look at that one. Oh, itty bitty, itty bitty. Look at that, guys. I don't
Yeah.
know. Would that work, or do you like the blue one better?
Well, the blue one would be a solid.
Yeah, yeah. See, and that one you wouldn't really have to worry too much
But
about where the front
yeah,
piece is.
I just don't. I don't think it's gonna work. I mean, we'll try it, but I don't think it's gonna work because we'll see. Let's go ahead and get the first ones wired up the way that I want them.
Yeah, and you're gonna need like how many of these things you think controllers? A lot, right?
Well, I used one controller for everything on the first one.
Yeah, but this one, since you're gonna have so many buttons and you can only have one button connected to a controller at a time, you're going to need like 5 controllers
Well,
for each one of the buttons.
well, the thing is that you have to control two sections at once. So
Well, the first button controls the 2 sections, and then the second button controls the next 2 sections. It's like in
right,
stages. So
but I think you'll see what the dilemma is. Let me go ahead and get this first section, and I'll show you exactly why I'm having qualms with it.
okay, we'll see if we can figure this out. Again, this is kind of us upgrading the design we already have. So if it doesn't work, we'll go back to the original design just so you guys can see how it's done. But this is the basic idea right here of how to connect the things together. And it works. It works fairly well. If you guys want to go back, you can look at some of the earlier videos where we show off the designs that we told you we'd be doing in detail here. This one, I think it might work. I think it definitely has potential. You just kind of have to. Pretty much everything in this game has potential as long as you're willing to sit there and think about it for a few minutes, sometimes even longer, until you figure out exactly how to get that to work the way you want it to. Okay, so that kicked me off. Let's see. How do you have that set up? Okay, so you have the first 4 on there. Are you hitting the button?
Are you? Oh, no wonder.
What's up? There you go.
All right, so let's see. The second one needs to be at 90 degrees.
I see. So not all of them raise up with that at the same time, and you needed all to raise up, and then you need to go one step further after that.
Yep. They all have to stay pretty much flat. And let me go ahead and put a second switch in so you'll see what it looks like if they were all straight at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you add a second controller in and you connect it like you want to, set it so that it stays flat, then it should move as one, though, still, even though there's 2 different controllers controlling the other half. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's see here.
And then it should move kind of how you want it to, but still retain the ability to hit that second button and allow it to go up even higher.
Yeah, but the problem is that see how it's facing downward?
Well, it's only the whole thing is messed up at the moment. It's supposed to be flat, isn't it?
No, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
They're at a weird angle.
Yeah, because of the fact that since they're not all on the same one, everything has to move as one piece. So even if we did 2 buttons to move this, you would have to have them all moving as one, so that they all move.
Well, they all move as one because they're all set to a certain position once they're connected to a control panel.
Right, but you can't. Are you moving my stuff, man? If the thing is, the way it works is it has to have a way for it to always stay even, and if you only push one button, this is how it's going to end up. until you push that second button. See what I mean?
Right.
All right, guy.
See, so he's built one over there as well. But see, his doesn't have stages either. It's just that one push button and it goes up. Yeah, once it's on that platform, it can't be lifted or moved around anymore.
Yep.
So there may be a way to do this. What do you think? Just hooking it up to one then for now, or and the game just
Well,
seemed to
it's gonna
crash?
have to. It's gonna have to be two because
Yeah,
I
the game
guess why am I moving like this now?
because the game crashed. Guys, we're
Did
gonna
it?
go ahead and end the episode here, obviously, and we will catch you guys next time.
This is Hyperdeck.
This is AC Gamer.
Peace out.